Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, even when you were alone, or heard a sound that you knew couldn't have come from anything human? Tonight I'm going to tell you 3 real horror stories. Stories that don't come from movies, myths, or imagination. These are real events shared by real people. Some of them made it out, some we never heard from again. So turn the lights off if you dare. And remember, the scariest things in life don't wear a mask. They knock, they whisper, and sometimes they laugh. Let's begin. This happened to a girl named Emily when she was in her 2nd year of college. She had just moved into a small apartment near campus. Nothing fancy, just a bedroom, a tiny kitchen, and a lot of quiet. At night, she'd lie in bed, scrolling through her phone, listening to the old ceiling fan hum above her. It was peaceful, until the 3rd night. That night, as she was drifting off to sleep, she heard something, a slow, steady breathing sound coming from somewhere near her. She froze, held her breath. The sound kept going. At first, she thought it was her own breathing echoing off the wall, but when she held her breath completely, the sound kept going, deep, rhythmic, like someone sleeping. The sound was coming from under her bed. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight, but didn't look, not yet. She told herself it was just her imagination, maybe the pipes, maybe her downstairs neighbor. She couldn't sleep that night. The next evening, she got home and decided to look. She laughed at herself for even thinking anything was there. She slowly got on the floor, took a deep breath, and looked under the bed. There was nothing. Relieved, she stood up. But something had changed. Her bedsheet, the corner near the wall, it had been lifted, like someone had crawled in or out. That night, she blocked the space under her bed with boxes, but the breathing came back, louder, closer. She moved out 3 days later. When she returned for her deposit, the landlord casually mentioned the last tenant in that unit had vanished, leaving all his things behind. He lived alone. But when police searched the place, there were 2 mattresses. This story comes from a recovered phone found in the Appalachian Mountains. A solo hiker named Adam went missing during a 3-day trail trip. He was experienced, well-equipped, and had checked in by text daily. Until the 3rd day, rescue teams found his campsite abandoned. His backpack was still there. Even his shoes were neatly placed near his sleeping bag. They also found his phone lying in the grass near the edge of a cliff. The last video on it was recorded at 2:13 a.m. Here's what. It showed Adam is inside his tent whispering. He says, "There's something outside, it's not an animal." The tent rustles. You can hear footsteps, but not human ones. Then he unzips the tent just slightly, points the phone out. The screen shows pure darkness. Then 2 faint eyes. Low to the ground, glowing faint yellow. No sound, no growl, just silence. He zips the tent back up, says, "It's circling me. It hasn't left. It doesn't blink." Then whispering again, "It knows I'm alone." Then look, the screen goes black. The last sound in the video is a strange, echoing giggle, not a human laugh, something distorted. Like an old tape, Adam was never found. His phone battery died. Hours later, no footprints, no blood, just the giggle and the shoes he left behind. Jacob and Claire had just bought their first house. It was in the countryside, quiet, green, and a bit run down. But it was theirs. Everything was fine until the knocking started. It was always the same time. 3:07 a.m., a knock at the front door. Not a pounding, just one soft knock. And when they opened the door, nothing, no one. The first time they thought it was a prank. The second time they thought it was the wind, but it kept happening every night. 3:07 a.m., one knock, they installed a camera. The next morning, they checked the footage. At 3:07, the camera glitched. The screen froze for 3 seconds, then resumed, but there was no one in sight. Claire stopped sleeping. She started keeping a bat by the bed. Jacob started drinking too. Cope. Then came the night it knocked twice. Jacob had had enough. He ran to the door, threw it open, and yelled into the dark. But this time, something knocked back, on the inside, behind him. He turned slowly. The knock had come from the basement door, which they always kept locked. The next morning, Jacob packed their bags. They moved out that week. 2 months later, a man from the power company went to inspect the house for new buyers. He went down to the basement to check the fuse box. He never came back up.
If you're still here, maybe you're not scared, or maybe you're just better at pretending than the rest of us. Hit that subscribe button, or the Giggle ghost might come knocking next. Sweet dreams.
Liked the chills, subscribe for more, and share this with someone you'd like to scare tonight. And in the comments, drop the name of your city. Let us know where you're watching from. The next ghost might be closer than you think.